I don't gotta say much. You read the title. Miles Morales is back. Yup, the GOAT is back. One thing though, he a little schizophrenic.
What? What did he say?
Yeah, nah, that boy, he going through some stuff. But let me explain. So I opened YouTube today and I seen that Sony dropped a Miles Morales short film called The Spider Within. Now I know there were a couple casuals that seen this and got hyped because they assumed that this meant Spider-Verse 3 is right around the corner. But to them I say, sit down. We are not getting that movie anytime soon. But nonetheless, I tuned in to watch the short film because at this point, I'm a fiend. I will take what I can get. So the scene starts off with Miles Morales stepping in a puddle with the fresh ones. We then get a glimpse into Miles' mental state and he going through a lot, struggling to balance school, relationships, and being Spider-Man. You know how it is, the classic superhero trope, they stay trying to do it all. But if I'm being honest, I always had a tough time sympathizing with them. Cause it's like, nobody's forcing you to go out there. And yeah, I know with great power comes great responsibility, but if I'm Spider-Man, best believe I'm gonna take some days off. I just paid $789 for these Rolling Loud New York tickets, and you're telling me I gotta cancel my plans cause Sandman wanna throw a temper tantrum? Yeah, the police gonna have to take that one. Get somebody else to do it. Miles walks in the house, and he's immediately met with a jump scare from his dad. How did you get jump scared with Spidey senses, especially from your big brawlic ass dad? You telling me you didn't hear a single floorboard creak? Yeah, you know what? I'ma pretend this didn't happen. Mr. Morales starts telling him about the night he got planned for them. He got pizza on the way, ice cream in the fridge, and to top it off, he rented 3 scary movies. As to why he decided to rent the movies, I have no clue. This is not 1997. He could have easily got the films off of 1, 2, 3 movies. Hey, bro, I'm broken! Miles not really feeling it tonight, so he politely declines his dad's invitation. His dad asks him if he's alright, but of course, he says he's fine when he's really fighting demons. I'm pretty sure a lot of us can relate. Hey, I feel for Miles, but what he does next really showed me how far gone his mental state is. After rejecting his dad, this man walks to his room and then slams the door shut. Yeah, I know, it's confirmed he done lost his mind. There is just some things you cannot do in a black household, and slamming the door is one of them. Miles' dad yells at him for slamming the door, but this was not a realistic conclusion for that scenario. If I even tried that in my household, as soon as that door shut, you would have thought my mom was Minato the way she teleport in my room and hit me with 1,000 slaps in 15 seconds. Would have beat the Spidey powers right out of me. But Miles got that main character energy, so I guess he can get away with it. After he apologizes for slamming the door, Miles gets a Spidey sense and turns around with a quickness to see what it is, but it appears that nothing's there. Miles decides he needs to unwind a little, so he takes a seat at his windowsill and puts on that new Future and Metro Boomin album. Oh my god, that junk was heat! While listening to the album, he starts to get deep in his thoughts, and eventually, all his insecurities and problems surface to the front of his mind. The thoughts and voices become too much for Miles, so he takes off his headphones and decides to head to bed and stare at the ceiling. But all of a sudden, Miles looks back at the windowsill that he was just sitting at and sees a dark figure shaped like him. Sleep paralysis must have got a hold of him because that man did not move an inch. He just watching the figure walk right towards him. And hold on, wait a damn minute. Does this nigga got the same dirty ones he stepped in a puddle with on his bed? Oh nah, this cannot be. I already know what the dark figure is. That's my mother coming to teach him a lesson. Suddenly, the figure sinks into the ground, so Miles looks around his room to see where it went. He first looks side to side and sees nothing, but as soon as he looks up, the demon comes oozing from the ceiling with his hand reached out towards Miles. The dark figure touches him, then pushes him into a whole new backdrop. Now they on a train, standing face to face. Sleep paralysis doesn't have Miles in a chokehold now, so I know he's about to put the paws on him. He runs in to punch the dark figure in his chest with his electrically charged fist, but the demon eats that punch like it was nothing. Miles is in awe that the punch didn't do any damage, so he begins to back up, and that's when we see the dark figure start to morph into a giant spider. Miles is scared for his life at this point, so he tries to run, but the giant spider got him cornered. The spider opens its fangs, and right when it looks like it's about to devour Miles, it somehow turns into 1,000,000 little spiders that are now crawling all over him. Yeah, this is where I draw the line, cause this gotta be one of my biggest fears. Imagine you kill a huge spider just for 1,000,000 other spiders to disperse from his body. Nah, you gotta put the house up for sale at that point. That is their house now. Now Miles over there trying to get all the little spiders off of him. But then the cameraman quickly changes angles and we see that there's not a single spider on him. Yeah, see kids, this is why we don't do perkies. No more drugs all 2024. Miles continues bugging out for another 30 seconds, but finally he calms down and curls into a ball on his ceiling. The philosopher in me is telling me that the dark figure that Miles Miles is scared of, which eventually turns into a spider, is really just a representation of the life imbalances he's facing while being Spider-Man. He feels that being Spider-Man is going to consume everything else in his life, not allowing any room for personal endeavors. But the Christian in me is telling me that this man needs a bucket of holy water along with intense prayer. Once the adrenaline from his perky-induced psychotic break settles, Miles decides to go take a walk with his dad and talk about some of the life problems he's been going through. I know, what a cute moment. Well, he better enjoy it while it lasts, cause last I heard, Miguel wants your dad knocked off the map. He's very serious about them canon events. Overall, a nice little teaser to hold us over until 2047 when the actual movie comes out. Hopefully I still have my vision by then to enjoy the S-tier animation that the Spider-Verse always brings. Miles, I will be praying for you cause I don't know what short horror film I just watched, but what I do know is that if I catch you with your shoes on in the bed in the next film, nah, I don't care. That's great.
I don't really wanna know. Shorty telling me her name. I don't really wanna know. Had to wake up, go to work. I ain't really wanna go. God be with me on my side. He be with me on the low. I don't really wanna know.